Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is our power hour where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or sometimes for no reasons at all.
That's right. Sometimes for very selfish reasons. Ooh. Foreshadowing.
Ooh. I was like, let me guess. Was that an Easter egg?
Foreshadowing.
Not an Easter egg. That was just foreshadowing. Anywho.
Yeah.
So this weekend was fun.
Oh my gosh. We went camping. Wait. And I say we went camping. I went camping. It's not shocking for you.
Right. Sorry, my chapstick fell. I watched it, which makes me now wonder if this table's crooked. I'm like, I don't think that should have just fallen right off there.
It was a ghost.
It was. Just knocked it right off. Yes, it's not very shocking for me to go camping because I am a camping family and I came out the womb in a tent. That'd be weird.
Yeah, you did. We went down to Hillman Ferry.
Yes.
And what was the body of water close to us?
It's Kentucky Lake.
Kentucky Lake. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No electric on our side. I slept under the stars. I peed outside.
You did.
I peed outside.
Which I totally would have too. Yeah. Number one, we did not realize, first thing too is Travis was like, I thought the sites were closer for you to be able to just walk into the camper to pee. To me, the hardest part is the peeing outside. Being a female. If I had a big old dick, this wouldn't be a big issue.
That's right.
Just whip it out compared to how Will and Travis would literally just turn away from us and start peeing. And I'm like,
we had PMV the whole time.
I mean, I didn't because I had a camper.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I could just go pee.
I know you're light sleep. She's like, just come in. And I'm like, you're light sleeper. I'll wake the dogs
You wouldn't
up.
have walked though. But
I would have, but at one point, and I was like, I looked over there and it was pitch black. And then I looked at the picnic table that's beside our tent, far enough away from the tent. And I sat on the edge. Good thing I do wall sits. And I peed.
I love that Heather's admitting that she peed in a campsite. She told me it and I was like,
I did.
Becky.
It was either that or go in the woods.
That's a rated R, no-go big X of camping. It's a fuck you to everyone who camps there. But I get it too because it's not, number one, it's one thing if that was your pee corner and you peed there 700 times. It's not going to smell like a shitty fucking parking garage in fucking Nashville. Right. That's my first thought of it. But whenever I do it, if we are not in the camper, I'm always during the daylight, pick a fucking area that you feel safe to pee in. You have confirmed that the foliage is not poison ivy or poison oak. And you know whether or not it's Virginia creeper or whatever the fuck is happening out there. These are important things to me. Virginia creeper is very active in our area and it looks just like poison ivy. Oh. So that's why people can never tell the difference between the two. But I have to pick an area and I still hate doing it. Yeah. I hate peeing outside because I pee all over myself.
Yeah. Well, not if
I pee on a coffee table or on a fucking picnic table.
I sat on the edge.
I would never do that because
she's better than me.
No. I mean, with my standards of peeing, I'm going to say yes. I have higher standards than Heather of what I think you are allowed to pee in public spaces like campgrounds.
Yeah.
So yes on that. But I also obviously pee in horrible situations and then pee on myself. If you are a female and you listen to this podcast and you have figured out a way to pee where you do not pee on yourself outside of a she-wee or a go-girl, because that's the other thing too is I 100% have a she-wee or a go-girl. Travis calls it a go-girl. I'm pretty sure its legal term is a she-wee. And that, my friends, is a requirement. Next time you go camping, get that $12 she-wee from Amazon where you can stand up and pee.
It's worth it.
100, without a doubt, without a single question. It is always going to be worth it.
We'll get him as a sponsor. All right. You ready to dig in?
Always.
Are you sure?
Not really.
I don't know. I was trying to buy time while I put my glasses on. Okay.
My ability to pivot is getting at an all-time 10 out of 10 pivoting capabilities.
Okay. Today I'm going to tell you the story of the Windshield murder. Now, my sources today, Wikipedia, people.com, they had an article from March of 2018, oxygen.com, Court TV, you had a lot of the court proceedings on YouTube, which were really interesting. And then I happened to stumble across this case on season 2, episode 5 of Prosecuting Evil with Kelly Sigler. Now, okay, Fort Worth, Texas, October 27th, 2001, 9:30 a.m. There's a man named Tom Breedlove, and he's a firefighter who was off duty at the time, and he was walking in Cobb Park. He found a body of a white male who was deceased. He said that the body was in rigor already. He was cold, and his body was, quote, contorted. Detective Mike Carroll was dispatched to the scene. Now, this park was known for kind of bad behavior. The police got calls there at least once a day, they said.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is very bad behavior.
Yeah. And they said it was known where people would buy and use drugs, sell them, all that stuff. So,
okay. So this was not like you were not taking Aiden and Sophia to go play at the playground.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. There weren't any stab wounds on this man, no gunshots, no blunt force trauma per se, which is what he expected being in Cobb Park. His leg was so badly injured that his foot, this man's foot, left foot, was laying across his stomach because his leg was broken so bad.
Oh my golly gee.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Like left up here and crooked, like bad. So he could tell at first glance that.
Oh my God, that legit made my stomach turn.
Right?
I'm so happy I have green tea
Right.
to settle my stomach.
He said he could tell at first glance that he had been deceased for at least a few hours. He did see one odd thing, though. His body was covered in glass shards. Near the body was some deep tire tracks, so he just assumed, oh, this man had been hit by a vehicle, unfortunately, in a hit-and-run accident of a transient person who was probably sleeping in the park. Now...
That he was the transient person.
The man that passed away, yeah.
Okay.
In Texas at the time, FSRA, which is failure to stop and render aid, was a second-degree felony. And the sentencing was 2 years probation to 10 years in prison when a death resulted in it. So it's a big...
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you hit somebody and you just bolt, like you're going to
2 years probation if mommy and daddy have money. Or you do.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to toss in something I can't even toss in. So I got a DUI when I was 19. Clapped me on my back for my shitty behavior. When I did that, I was in Indiana on a vacation from when I lived in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I had to go to a Narcotics Anonymous because it was either narcotics or AA, and it was what was available, and I had to squeeze all my fucking shit into one fucking moment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there was a guy there who had killed someone when he was drunk. And he was like, the only reason I didn't spend more time in jail was because I think he had a profession that allowed him to pay. And so he had killed someone while he was drunk and was able to like,
oh God,
get off. Don't get me wrong. The dude was in his programs. Like, I'm obviously not giving any fucking names away. Or anything. But like, you could tell obviously he lived his whole life feeling that way. But like, that was a exact moment of you got leniency due to money and profession.
Right. Oh, God.
Such a bummer.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I don't fucking know.
Now they checked the wallet of this man, and the man who had been hit was 37-year-old Gregory Biggs. Now this is Gregory.
Sweet little man. He has a great smile.
I know.
He looks happy.
He's so sweet. Now let me tell you as much as I know about Gregory Biggs. He was from Duncanville, Texas, not far from there. He had married his high school sweetheart, and then they had a son named Brandon, and that's him, and that's Brandon and Gregory when Brandon was younger. At the time of Gregory's death, he and his wife were divorced, so Brandon was officially his next of kin. And Gregory had suffered from some mental health issues and was actually living in a homeless shelter in Fort Worth at the time that he passed away. Apparently, Greg was dating a woman who needed help financially. She had wrecked her car, and then he went to his son and he was like, "What should I do? You know, should I help her out?" Because he was always known to like give your shirt off your back type of guy. Mm-hmm. And his son was like, "Well, if you can, you know, help him out." So he did. He was a self-employed bricklayer for a very long time. He owned a car, a home, and he had steady work. So sadly, after he helped, he couldn't make his truck payments. And then he ended up losing his truck, which spiraled into losing his career. And he was also diagnosed bipolar with minor schizophrenic tendencies. Man. So like after that, it was a spiral into all of this sadness.
That sounds terrible. How do you even bounce back from one, let alone all of it? It
was like a domino effect. Yeah. And he was trying. Like they said, his son said his life was on the upswing when he passed away.
You can tell though from like even that photo, they look like a 90s sitcom family.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
like
you could tell his shit was together. No part of him.
Right.
I wouldn't even, if you were going to do does the person look like they had mental health issues? I completely understand that that is not a look, if you will. But this guy, you would never.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely opens your eyes to stigma between like homelessness and like they just think, oh, he's probably on drugs or too lazy or blah, blah, blah. He just one choice and it went downhill from there. So October 28th, 2001, the day after Greg was found, an autopsy was performed. He had 2 broken legs. One of them was almost amputated. He had a broken ankle. His lower abdomen had a huge laceration all the way across. He had scratches everywhere and it was awful. Like they showed the photo that they write the autopsy on, not the actual body, but like the photo of the outline of a human and they draw all the marks on it. I didn't even list them all. It was bad.
Oh my gosh.
Lividity is the way that the blood pools after the body, in the body after the heart stops beating.
Okay.
And so due to that, they could tell that he was moved post-mortem to the park and likely struck by a car, but not there. So
I guess that would make sense. How would you drive
through
the park?
Yeah, it was like the edge of a parking lot, but not enough like to nothing made sense.
Unless you did it on purpose.
Right. He was buried on Halloween 2001 and Brandon, his son, was 17-year-old high school senior at the time.
No, you're breaking my heart, Heather.
I know.
Did you come in here and just wreck me today? Was that your goal? Spend too much time with me over the weekend? You're like, let's hurt our feelings. Let's punch her right in the gut. Is that what you're doing? You're coming at me?
I'm coming at you. So Brandon is an angelic like kid. Like he's so precious and he's 17 and he had to plan his father's funeral. Like
his mom didn't help?
I don't think she was in the picture. They didn't show her on anything because they weren't together.
I was like, I understand that, but
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So 17. And he said on there that his dad was a really friendly guy, but he didn't have a lot of friends. So it's very, very sad. So like there was like maybe 10 people at the funeral.
You're okay. Yeah. Well, when I start crying.
Right. But he was such a good kid. And he said, quote, I think it's good to make my dad known for more, not just as a homeless man, because wasn't always that way. So who the hell did this and then ran away? They knew that.
That was such an aggressive.
Because it's like.
The paper land. That's what I was laughing at. Like way that paper went, I was like, she's mad.
I am mad. So they knew that they had to look for a banged up vehicle because like how bad Gregory was injured. Detectives they went on the news and they were like, hey, body shops anywhere. If you guys see this car, you worked on a car that you think could be linked to this at all, they offered a reward and everything to look suspicious. But for 4 months, no leads, they didn't hear anything. And then February 25th, 2002, they got a call from Miranda Daniels and she said, quote, that article a few months ago about that hit and run? My best friend's homegirl is the one that did it. Just out of nowhere. Miranda had been at a party and this girl and the homegirl, quote, Chante Mallard, who said she was talking to her friend and she heard her. She goes, I drove home fucked up from the bar and hit, quote, some white guy with her car, is what she said. Now this is Chante.
I know her.
Yeah. You'll figure it out. Yeah.
I'm not going to figure anything out. I'm sorry. My brain won't piece shit together. I just know that I have seen her.
Right.
At some point in my life. Since 2002 and on.
Yeah. So she said that Chante went on to say that she drove all the way home with Gregory in her windshield. Halfway in, halfway out. Still alive. Went inside. Shut the garage door. Turned the light out. And went in. The cops were like, what? Like, how? What? So they're like, okay, we got to look at this at least. So
thank God.
Yeah. Like
thank goodness.
Yeah. They were like, this is the first lead we've had in 4 months. Like we're going to go.
And it was a confession.
Yeah. And so they said they got a search warrant for Chante's house to see. They were like, there's no way the car's still there, but we have to look. Like we have to. When she answered the door, they said, we're here to serve a search warrant. She didn't say what for. She just let them in and went and sat on the couch. First of all, just was like, oh, okay. And put her head down, didn't say anything, and just went and sat down. One of the female officers went and sat with her while they went in the garage.
Okay, I don't know if anything could be more.
Like at least
red flag.
Why? Like
that would be
anything. Yeah, like if someone's gonna search your house, you'd at least be like play.
It's the same thing like whenever you kill your spouse and then they're like, where do you think your spouse is? Your spouse is missing, and you're like, oh. Or they're like, I'm sorry, we found your spouse, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And you react and you never ask how or why. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
How?
Mm-hmm.
Not a ¿qué pasó?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Right. So she let him in. Now the banged up car was still in the garage after 4 months, still sitting there. It was damaged so bad, and they show it on the TV show, but they didn't have. I tried to take a picture of it, and it, like from my phone, it looked like crap. So go watch the show. It's on YouTube as well. You can actually see the damaged car.
Question.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shut the fuck up because you were about to say it.
What?
Say your sentence.
Okay.
I have a feeling you were going to say exactly what I was going to ask.
The windshield was busted out.
There we go.
The hood was dented terribly. Like it was not, the windshield was gone. The hood you could see on the left side where like Greg had been hit. It was dented like bad. Like somebody dropped a fucking boulder on it. And Greg's blood and hair were still in the car. Still. Yeah. They went inside.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
4
months.
You're dropping bombs over Baghdad here, and you're not really giving me a lot of time to process.
Yeah.
Are you in a hurry? Do you have a meeting after this? Fuck.
No, but isn't that fucking nuts?
No, that's insane.
Like,
number one, I was like, first thing, if you get in a car accident and you were like someone like us, I guess I'm going to say, oh my God, that sounds terrible, but employed. There we go. We are employed humans. I would think the first thought would be trying to fix the vehicle. But if you didn't have money and you did that, taking away everything you just said of her just like going the fuck home with him alive and there, I'm just like,
yep.
Then get rid of the vehicle.
Right. Right.
Or I can't fathom that she drove it, which you might say like, oh yeah, she drove to work every day on Tuesdays to go. And I'd be like, and a man you murdered, essentially his hair and blood still in the vehicle. And you're just like acting like,
yeah,
you accidentally knocked over a fucking Diet Coke on your seat.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's so, they couldn't even believe it. They didn't expect it to be there, but they had to check the box and be like, well, if it's not here, it's somewhere. And then they go and they're like, it's still has all the evidence in it. Now they went inside and they were like, hey, Chante. And she literally put her head down and she said, I didn't mean to hit him. And they're like, we didn't think they were going to find the car. They didn't think she was going to admit it right off the bat. And she did. So also, Chante Mallard was a CNA. She was a certified nurse's assistant working in the medical field at the time. She's about to get up. Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah.
The absolute.
Someone who takes an oath to help others.
Who could have actually saved his life.
Yeah. Let him die.
Slowly in her garage. Mm-hmm. Not even caring.
Right. Right.
Do they give CNA papers out for nothing?
That's apparently she'd worked at a lot of facility. Like she's been doing it for a while. I don't know.
Like, did they not, like, I'm sorry. I really hope that whoever is my CNA wasn't schmammered pants on Friday night and blacked out and killed people with their vehicle.
Oh, you're going to get more mad as I keep going.
Golly willikers.
So you say fuck at the beginning and then you say golly willikers in the middle. I just want that to be known.
Louise. I'm working on cutting back on my cussing.
Golly willikers.
So I hope you guys love the podcast now. Oh my
like,
God.
We talk about flaked up people doing flaked up poop. Sometimes for silly reasons. That's our new intro.
Hush it.
Okay. Oh. Sound like the kids. We're going to have a kids bot version of Sassholes.
I'm going to have to tell you, can you not tell, like, this is because I spend so much time with my nieces and nephews every week now. That was not the case, like, 2 months ago, and now I'm with them every week, and so I have to literally stop cussing, and apparently I can't unfold.
Flip the switch. Okay, so Shante.
I'm done. I'm not going to talk anymore.
I don't believe that. Okay. Okay, so during questioning, she tells them her story. She said that she had gone to a club that night with her best friend and only had 2 drinks and no drugs, but she thinks one of the drinks was drugged because when she was leaving, she was wobbly. She said on the freeway on the drive home, she had hit a man. He'd gone through the windshield and was stuck on her right passenger side. She panicked, drove home with him in her car, like hanging halfway out, like his legs were on the hood.
I cannot fathom how no one...
Right.
Was it because of the date? They thought it was a Halloween decoration.
No, I think it was like 3. I mean, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I don't think it was I don't know. I have no idea.
I just can't fathom driving down Fredica.
Right. So she got in. She drove home with him in the car, pulled in and shut the door. She said she had apologized to him in the garage and he groaned, proving she knew he was still alive. Then she went to the house, sat on the kitchen floor and cried, not knowing how long he was still alive in the garage. She said she called a man named Vaughn. He was like her on again, off again boyfriend. And he, quote, took care of Greg's body, but she didn't know what he did with it. When she was arrested, of course, and her car was investigated. There was a fingerprint in Greg's blood that belonged to him on the passenger side. So he was alive enough to make a handprint, like it wasn't like his heart was still beating. Like he was still trying to fight for his life, which is so fucking sad.
And this dude who's an on again, off again, just like gets rid of a body, and who knows if the guy was alive then or not.
Right.
Wow. I would struggle if you called me. I'd be like, fuck, dude.
I thought about that the whole time.
For real, don't contact me. I do not want to fuck with a dead body.
Yeah, I know.
I can only make that clear.
Right. Now, okay.
I will crumble under the pressure.
There were what I was calling like desperation marks in blood. Like I said, he was trying to get up and get out. Like you could see it on everything and help himself because she just left him there with like broken legs, ankles cut in the gut, like awful.
And he went face first, so he had to have been like,
yeah.
I'm sure the impact would have had to have knocked him out, and he only came to in moments.
Right. And he was losing so much blood and in shock. So, she could have called the police. She could have helped him because she's a CNA. There were 300 different ways.
She could have driven right to the hospital.
She could have, yes.
Driven right to the hospital and be like, I fucked up.
And I also want to tell you, this is going to piss you off, that this was, do you remember the Chevy Cavaliers? How small those cars were? They were like a little compact car kind of.
I don't.
But anyway, they're little. Like, they're not big. They're like as big as my other car was. And it's not huge. And so she's driving home with this man essentially touching her. Oh my God. On the side.
Sorry, I'm looking at the vehicle.
Okay.
Cavalier?
Yeah.
Cavalier.
2000. It was.
Who cares? Oh, that is a small vehicle.
Yeah.
That is similar to the old side. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's.
Oh my gosh. So his arm was probably on her leg.
He was right here. Yeah. And she drove, I don't know how far it was, but she had to drive a little bit of a distance. So, okay. And it makes me fucking sick. On the Kelly Siegler episode, she said that if Chante would have called the cops, the evidence shows that there was a good chance he would have survived. And since she was a first-time offender, Chante could have just gotten probation and Greg could be alive. Like, there was a chance she could have gotten off with just probation and he would have made it. But she did not. Okay, so who is Vaughn? The guy, like, who is that? Besides her saying he was her on-again, off-again boyfriend, she wouldn't say anything else. Then they go ask her friends, and they're like, I don't know who the fuck Vaughn is. Who's Vaughn? Like, no one knows who this is.
Let's just peep those phone records, people.
Right. They went to her best friend, Talisi. She goes by T, though. So T, and her last name was Fry. So T Fry. I don't know. I was like, I like that.
I was like, Heather likes that.
Yeah. So T Fry. And in Texas, they have to like get up in front of the grand jury like before they actually go to trial. So in April of 2002, they got T Fry up there on the stand. She says, quote, Chante came over the next morning and we went out and didn't mention it. I never saw her car, basically saying nothing. They knew she knew more though. So like she was like, I didn't see her car. Like she came over the next day.
Just fine as a frog hair.
Mm-hmm. They're like, cool, okay, so we're gonna pull your phone records because we know you're lying.
Duh.
And they talked several times that night. After reminding her, they were like, T-Fry, listen, like, you know you could get perjury felony charge, right? Because we know, we're showing you lied, and we can charge you right now if we want to. Basically, like, what are you doing?
Fucking tell us.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, okay, well, give me immunity and I'll tell you whatever you want. Because, yeah.
Immunity? Mm-hmm. What did you do that you need The infamous immunity word. The only time I need immunity is a nice immunity shot in the wintertime. This is nonsense. This is not. What did T-Fry do? Is T-Fry Vaughn? I'm not ready. I can't cope. You do such a good job telling me.
I know, but you're like, this is not one of your true crimes. You're acting like this is like a fucking book. Like Alice Feeney didn't write this or whatever. Like, I'm like, hang on.
Kind of wish she would have. It wouldn't hurt as much.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
where we are right now,
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Does your face look like a mugshot lately?
Then it is officially time for you to visit Hetef Aesthetics in Owensboro, Kentucky or Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right. Go see our girl Amber Teasley and her team because they'll have your face and your skin look like a damn filter.
And their staff is absolutely amazing. It's like a mini Botox party, which personally is my favorite. You leave looking fresher and you don't have a hangover.
Another good thing is that if you go in there and you tell them that A Couple of Sassholes sent you, you get 15% off of everything.
That's unbelievable. So if you have been considering getting that glow up and making that ex jealous, it's time.
Okay, so T started talking to save herself. So Chante came over to T's house after work. This is what happened.
Okay.
She comes over to her house about 10:30. They get ready.
PM, AM?
PM.
Okay, sorry. I'm so old. I'm like...
You're like, I would have been in bed for 3 hours. If I came over at 10:30, you'd be like, what the who's, why? Why are you here?
Unless it was a Friday and you wanted to come watch a movie and go to bed.
Yeah.
I made popcorn.
Okay, so they go to Joe's Bamboo nightclub.
Say that again. I hallucinated.
Joe's. Yeah, it was a fever dream. Joe's Bamboo nightclub.
I thought you said beer. Big Bear nightclub. I was like, it was a gay bar?
No, and at 11 p.m. and they stayed until closed until 2 a.m. She said they only had 2 drinks, so Chante was like, I'm going to drive home. T said that Chante called her at 3 a.m. from her house and whispered, come pick me up. So she does. No questions asked. Like, what happened? So she runs out. Because she starts to get out of her car and go into the house. So Chante runs out to T's car and they drive around and talk about what happened. They eventually went back to their house, to Chante's, and T actually saw Gregory's body in the garage deceased, which shocks the fuck. Like, she was on the stand, like, pretty much shaking. Like, I saw this man in her garage. T is like screaming at her, like, call the cop. What are you doing? Call the cops. Why? Like, and she refused. So T got mad and left. She was like,
and didn't call the cops.
Exactly. Not letting her off the hook.
Understood.
Yeah, but
I will highlight, she did not call the cops.
I would have been like, I'm fucking calling if you don't, so you better.
I guess it's a little, I don't know. I'm going to say something that like is totally worthy of me getting obliterated online, but like, I can give her the benefit of the doubt, taking time to eventually contact the cops, but because he was deceased, there was no fixing or undoing. But if he was alive and she saw that and didn't like fucking call 911 right then,
right?
I guess life versus death,
right? If
she was in a crazy state herself, that I couldn't even imagine what that would wreck your body,
right?
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Chante Mallard was officially indicted on April 25th, 2002 for felony murder and tampering with evidence. They still don't know who Vaughn is until they got an anonymous tip out of nowhere.
They never checked the phone records?
No one named Vaughn.
I know, but they could have, anyone that she would have called that day. They would have just assumed it was a bullshit name.
Yep.
And it would have, so sorry, real quick though. Like the phone record after 2 a.m.
Yeah.
If she's anyone from 2 a.m. until noon the next day or whatever time his body was found. I feel like that was a stupid move. Yeah. Very easy for me to say in my plush chair 24 years later.
So Vaughn is Cleet Jackson. Now, Cleet, they call him. She made up the name Vaughn.
What?
Yeah. Like, that's what, yeah. Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. So stupid.
Yeah. So Cleet goes, yeah, I helped her get rid of that man's body with my cousin Herbert Tyrone Cleveland. Like, he immediately is like, yeah, I helped her. They both had criminal records, so they were eager to testify for the prosecution and flip on her to get lower sentences of 9 to 10 years in prison apiece. because they had been in and out of jail or prison or whatever.
So would they have gotten 9 to 10 years?
They would have gotten more in Texas, I think, because it's like they like lump a lot of their shit together.
Sorry, my question was, would they have gotten that much if they didn't have a record, or was that the number because of their record? Do you know?
I don't
make that clear.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm like 9 to 10 years for, hiding a body.
Yeah.
Though we've been doing this for like 4 years and we have like 170 episodes, I'm still flabbergasted by law.
Yeah. Oh, me too. And it's different for every state.
Right.
And like
and
times. So that's what they kept saying on the show. Well, back in 2001, so back then they would have gotten a lot more, but the cops were like, look, you have records and we could throw you away pretty much for like forever.
Then they should have.
And yeah, but like the guy was like, I'll testify. Let's do it. Like apparently they were asking to testify like early on. Her trial officially began on June 23rd, 2003. And you can imagine like
June 23rd, this all happened 2000, you said 23 or 2003?
This was 2003.
Okay, so 2001,
about 2 years.
October.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure.
Yeah.
I need a notebook.
So and it was a media circus worldwide.
That's why I know her face.
It happened because, she literally drove with a man dying. We don't know if he was conscious or not, but he was literally still alive in her car. She let him die. She was a medical professional and had everything. So the judge actually allowed cameras in the courtroom, which is why I was able to watch the court TV stuff on YouTube. She pled not guilty to the murder, but guilty to the failure to stop and render aid charge. Because
why?
That was the only thing that they could prove that she knew. And the lawyer, what I like, it was interesting watching that show and reading through all this stuff, because on the show, she's a prosecutor. So she was saying, well, that was actually what they should, like what I would have done if I was in his spot, because they couldn't prove it. And he's doing his job, her lawyer's teams or whatever. But like, they could prove that she didn't stop. But they were saying, well, you can't prove that she murdered him, which I think is bullshit. But that's the only card they had to play. So when T testified, again, she gets up there. She's like, Chante whispered, come pick me up. And the prosecutors...
Why she whispered?
Exactly. The prosecutors were saying it was because Gregory was likely still alive in her house and she didn't want him to hear her, which is fucking awful.
Awful.
Yeah. So she's like, no. The defense went up there and said, well, she was under the influence of something she was drugged with. She panicked. She made bad choices. The medical examiner got up there and he was like, well, he died because of the injuries after the car struck him and he was left and not tended to. So proving the prosecution right. Like he wasn't tended to.
He could have lived.
Right. To prove their point, the prosecutors did something abstract.
Ooh.
To paint the picture, they decided to bring Chante's car into the courtroom to show the jury. Now, they had to disassemble the vehicle into pieces to get it in there, but it still had Greg's blood on it. It still had the damage, everything. And they brought each piece of her car into that courtroom to show the jury, this is what she did. Like, and it gets me chills thinking about it.
Get him, Tiger.
Like, I actually teared up when I saw it again because I pictured like her, you could visualize it just from the car. It was sad.
And his son, I'm sure, was in the courtroom.
Right.
And to never think you'd have to like, this is already so sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's already so sad.
Right.
But a hit, vehicular manslaughter is so fucking sad, but a hit and run is unlike anything. And we've also seen stories though too, where the people turn themselves in 2 weeks later because they can't cope.
Right.
We've literally seen that on the news too.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she didn't.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, and the way she did this. Oh, it's so terrible.
I know. And then her friends got up there and then T was first and her story had more detail this time to save her own ass, basically. So T was like, okay, let me tell you what really happened. Chante came over to my house at 10:30, which she'd already said. She said they had a drink. They split an ecstasy, smoked a joint, and went to the club. So that all got left out in the original. So not only did T lie, but Chante had been lying the whole time on top of all that. Somebody drugged me. The fuck? You drugged you.
That would have been the easiest answer. And because her blood alcohol level was 4 months prior, there was no way to prove that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the absolute fuck you could drive on ecstasy. Like, no, I do that. Yeah. I have no understanding of why you even thought you could or why you would.
No.
Like, if I was going to go to a nightclub and just have a great time and I was like, I popped my pills, I got my joint going, why did you not get a taxi home?
No shit. Like, this was 2001. They had
taxis were outside of that club, I'm sure.
It was Fort Worth. It wasn't like the backwoods where they have like one taxi service 80 miles away. Like, that's the part that pissed me off. Like,
is that the one part?
The one. You know,
no, but you're right. Like, how many times have you and I gone out where we're like, we are going to have, even if we have more than 2 drinks, by that 3rd drink, we make eye contact, we lock in, and we're like, all right, now it's time for a lift.
Right.
Someone's got to pick us up now because we're officially.
Yeah.
I just can't understand, like.
Or pre-planned.
They were.
Right. Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I just cannot wrap my head around, like, you did all of that and you knew you could not drive. You are an impaired driver the second you smoked the joint. Mm-hmm. You were an impaired driver after popping 1 pill of anything besides aspirin or Tylenol or some shit. Man. So, I'm getting rowdy.
Oh, yeah. Get ready. So T is like, Chante. Okay. So they went to the club. And then when they get out, they close it down. T's like, Chante, she looked at her. She's like, she's too fucked up to drive. So she drove them home to her house thinking, well, she'll just stay at my house and then she can get up, whatever. And then she's like, well, I want to go home. And T's like, well, I'll follow you home. And she's like, no, I'm good. And she just leaves. So the rest of it checked out. They drove around, like her whispering, come pick me up, all that. T saw Greg's body halfway out of the windshield. By the way, when T was testifying against Chante, which is her best friend, Chante had cried most of the court, like most of the time, like cried. She looked pissed. And when I say pissed, like if you would have moved the table, she probably would have ran at her and hit her. Like she just was fuming.
Why wouldn't she be? You're giving me a life sentence. You're changing my entire story.
Right. And like, telling the truth.
Yes.
Like, yeah. And she's like glaring, like, instead of like, I get you don't, right. You know, like, I don't know.
I wonder how far away they lived from each other.
I feel like it was like, she said she left her house at like 3 and then got to her house at like 3:30-ish, but the timelines are kind of.
Well, she also got.
Yeah. Including.
Killed someone.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, I feel like the only way I could, ratchet that around, like you are 17 minutes from my house and that's too far driving buzzed up. Like, I'm just going to say if I was going to be naughty, I'd be like, it has to be a 10-minute or less drive.
Yeah.
But obviously there were no fucking good judgment calls over here.
Right. And then T got down and then, okay. Okay. When T left Chante's house, she's still telling her story. When she left, she called Cleet or Vaughn to take care of Greg's body. And Cleet had just gotten out of prison and he was trying to get his life back on track. So like
apparently not hard enough.
Right. And when he was testifying though, it's crazy because he looks like he could bench press the Cavalier. Like he is this huge, like hardened criminal who'd been in and out of the system, but he cried on the stand. And he is a big ass felon. And like he was shaken up, like one tear fell down his cheek and he hated the prosecutor because he had that mentality. But the prosecutor was like, he didn't like me and I didn't know how his testimony was going to go. And even the jurors were like crying because he did not look like a crier. Let's just say that.
To have to pull that body. And obviously you'd mentioned the cut to that means that he was likely sitting directly on shattered glass. Like,
yeah,
I had to get, these are those moments where I say things and I'm like, I feel like because the internet is so angry anymore, I get nervous about what I'm even saying, even though luckily nobody like attacks us on comments yet. But like I had a dead raccoon stuck in a friend's car that I had to get out with a broom. And that took forever. And it was a fucking raccoon in the front part of the grill from rigor mortis of a raccoon.
Oh.
And I had to break things to get it out. And it was a horrific experience of a fucking raccoon. This grown man having to take another grown man out of a windshield. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I couldn't even understand how he'd be able to like make it through that.
Right. He
with his cousin.
He was devastated. Like you could see it. Like you could tell he was remorseful about what he did. He knows it's fucked up. I'm not saying I'm not standing up for him, but like, fuck, like it fucked him. He said the second that he got here, he was like, she just got me in trouble again. And this man, so this is what he said. So Cleet said that he put Gregory in a blanket. And this is when he cried. He said he apologized to him for what she had done. Because when he got there, he was already passed. So Cleet apologized to Greg, wrapped him up in a blanket, and then he took him to the park with his cousin, and then he drove away. He also said that Chante had told him originally to burn Gregory in the car to cover it up. And Cleet was like, I'm not doing that. He said, you already did this. The least you could do is put him where someone can find him so his family and friends could have peace. Like, he's like, you already did this. At least can we do this?
At least keep the body.
Yeah. Like, he wanted to call the cops to do all the things, but she's like, no. And he's like, well, I'm putting him where people can find him because I want people to know. So they have peace.
I'm kind of surprised she let him, because she would have. Well, never mind. She also didn't admit it. It was somebody calling in,
right,
and telling him in the first place.
Exactly. Chante kept passing the blame, but Cleet told her that she was with them all, to cover up all the bad decision at a cost of a man's life. So apparently she was even with them because they said, well, how did you get the blanket off of Gregory to lay him down like he got hit there? And they said, well, Chante handed me a knife. So she was with him. So she's trying to say, oh, I was on X, I was sad, blah, blah, blah.
I was drugged. She wasn't even saying. She was like, I was drugged. I passed out.
Yeah, even his best friend on the show, Gregory's best friend, was like, when you sobered up, bare minimum you could have called and done the right thing. When he's like, if you're saying you were all strung out, all this and that, he's this cute little old guy with a little cowboy hat. He's like, just call and do the right thing. He's like, that's all you had to do. So, okay, Greg's son Brandon got up on the stand, and when I tell you he is a sweet baby angel, he really is a good kid. I say kid, and he was 20 at the time. He talked about how his dad had mental health struggles. Later in life, he was diagnosed as bipolar and a mild schizophrenic. He said he was super friendly, like I mentioned earlier, and he didn't have many friends. He told a story about how he fell into homelessness and was on the upswing of getting his life back together. No drugs, just trying to help someone, and ended up losing everything on his own.
So did they ever understand why, where he was and where he was walking to?
They think he was walking to go sleep somewhere. They don't know for sure.
Ugh.
So Chante cried a ton during the trial, except for when all of her friends were up there talking shit.
Of course.
Yeah.
She couldn't fake it.
Right. She was found guilty of murder in the first degree, as well as failure to stop and render aid. The defense decided to put Chante on the stand after the verdict before sentencing to try to get a lower punishment for her.
I'm going to throw this chair through that glass.
I didn't know that they were going to do, she got up there and I'm like, oh, because that's rare.
Yeah.
But they were she had been crying. They thought they were going to roll the dice and see if she'd become sympathetic.
Oh, I mean,
they had to. I mean.
Did they?
No, but they did.
Because I feel like that wasn't a good idea.
No.
But if they were just you know what? I don't care that much about my job. This bitch did this. Yeah. Let's just see what.
Right.
Somebody pulled an interesting tarot card that day. And they were like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the fuck? You want to put that bitch on the stand?
Oh, yeah. So she got up there. She cried some more. She apologized to everyone and Brandon. And she did show remorse. However, looking at all of it, she, like I said, she made the decisions after she sobered up, and I think she said she got caught. Me personally.
Yes.
4 months, you still have the car. You haven't told anybody.
Molly ecstasy made her happy. It made her joyous until the down. So there wasn't, I couldn't tell if that was an elephant in my garage or if that was I was so blacked out.
Right.
I don't remember it. I woke up, went to take my car to work the next day and then remembered it.
Right.
None of that took place.
Right.
You don't black out on ecstasy.
Yeah.
And
she had 2 drinks. They had proof she had 2 drinks there.
They did have proof that she only had 2 drinks there.
Yeah, she had 2 drinks. Yeah, they had done their in the back work.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure on that one. I was curious. I was curious if they were actually, we got her bar receipt. Yeah. Even though then in 2001 we were using cash more. I just didn't know if they could actually confirm how much alcohol
they were she had 2 drinks. Yeah. So, and even, I don't even remember if I wrote it in here or not, but Cleet had been at the club and met up with them for a little bit. And he said she was acting off. He could tell. He said just a little bit more fucked up than she should. He hadn't seen her act like that. So he knew she was on something else.
Heard.
But not
She wasn't
drugged.
like,
She was
oh my God,
self-drugged.
Cleet,
Right?
your shirt is so soft. Gosh.
So, okay. She left Greg Biggs in her garage to die, turned the lights off, then lied to the police, and then said she was drugged. And then, like I said, I think she's only sorry she got caught. Since I did this morning,
Fully
I
agree.
remember. So
when you said 10, it was today.
10 today. I did this.
You're
this
a rock
morning.
star.
Yes. So
Rock star, dude. You fucking
So-
turned that bitch around like my career. I have no idea.
So the prosecutors, though, the bad part about this is they got to cross-examine. And Kelly...
You mean the good part of this?
Yeah, Kelly Sigler. Yes, that's what I meant. But bad for the defense, good for them.
Oh,
So
fuck the defense on
Kelly
this one.
Sigler, I love her accent too, because she was like, they could give a class on cross-examination. Like, because she's like, this was just, it was a shining light in a dark room or something, like some of this June bug on a horse's ass, or all, you know how the country things that they just
All the Southern
throw
things we
words
say.
together. Yeah, I say it too.
I was like, bitch, you mean the way you talk?
Right.
Literally.
Exactly. So I don't have an accent. So, okay. So they got to cross-examine her and they got to show how selfish she acted. She got flustered and they backed her into a corner so hard. So she kept trying to, she didn't do it. It was the ecstasy. It was this. And they were like, okay, so did you pull the car into the garage knowing Greg was in there? Yes. Did you know that he was still alive? Because in your statement, you said that he groaned when you talked to him. Yes. Okay, so you knew he was alive and then you turned the lights off and you shut the door. Well, I don't really know. I panicked. She's like, I made bad decisions. You turned the lights out and you shut the door. Like, they kept repeating her over and over, like, you have nothing to say, but yes, you did this. And she wouldn't say it at all. She was dancing around it, looking around.
Like, I wish I knew what her astrological sign was.
Watch the YouTube, the court stuff, because when you
I
see
want to
it,
see this.
when you see the court, like court TV, you're gonna be like, what? How? Just say it. Like, everyone knows but you. Like, everyone is saying it but you. And she still never did. So she just kept saying she was sorry. It happened. I know you're sorry I got caught. So it backfired on the defense, needless to say. The prosecutors asked for a life sentence, but they gave her the jury gave her as close to it as they possibly could without doing life. She got 50 years for the murder and isn't eligible for parole until March of 2027. And she will be 50 years old.
How old was she at the time?
Like 27, something like that.
Definitely old enough to know better, too.
Right.
This is a fucking, if there's a PSA in this, buzz driving is drunk driving is murderous driving.
Right. Take a lift. Call a friend.
Do not drive home.
Right.
If you have been drinking, doing any type of drug,
right,
even Delta, if you don't know how it's going to hit you.
Right.
Like, just don't do it.
Right.
Just a reminder, don't do it.
So the shining light in this story, I think personally, and here's a picture of him, is Brandon Biggs. And that's the son, Brandon. He was 20 at the time. Making his victim, he made his victim impact statement while they held up a picture of his dad. And this is what he said. There are no winners in a case like this. Just as we all lost Greg, you will all be losing your daughter. To Chante, I personally would like to say that I would accept your apology. And in return, I hope that you would accept my forgiveness. Like,
someone is better than I.
Right. In response to this, his compassionate statement, Brandon actually ended up getting a $10,000 college scholarship from a group called America's Death Row Inmates. Dennis Skillicorn is on death row in Missouri and runs a newsletter called Compassion, and he heard about Brandon's impact statement, so they rallied the troops to help him. Apparently, there's inmates on death row that contribute to this thing, and they raise money and they give scholarships all over the country in the U.S.
That's
to
amazing.
families of murder victims.
How did we not know about that program?
I know. I thought that was worthy of a mention because Brandon...
How did we not know that?
Yeah, I had no idea.
I can't believe I've never heard of that.
And
or maybe I have and I forgot.
And I read an article that Dennis had said too, and he was like, look, we could at least do some good when we're in here for something we did that was bad. Like,
you know that people reform. Like, people reform. People change. We can consistently act like it's a yes or no. If you're not embarrassed for the person you were 3 years ago, then you haven't been growing. So you know people change.
Right.
That's an unbelievable program.
Yeah.
We need to link it.
I know. Yeah. So because $10,000, especially back in 2003.
$10,000 is a lot.
Either way now, but like 2003. So it's got to be like at least 15. That was a rough guess. So yeah, they all, because people subscribe and pay money to the Compassion newsletter, and he's the editor, Dennis is, and then they get to pick and choose where they do their donations. Brandon was a 20-year-old sophomore at the time when he made his victim impact statement too. He was studying at Southwestern Assemblies of God University in Texas to be a minister.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the sad story, the loss of 37-year-old father and friend, Gregory Biggs.
Wow. He's my age?
Mm-hmm.
Golly, or he was my age.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
That is so fucked up. It's amazing that even through all of that, she never took any accountability for her choices.
No. She said she messed up or something, but like she always, well, they did this, and then she kept trying to pass the buck even from the jump. That's what they kept saying on the show. Like she kept trying to blame it on everybody else. Whenever she could have been like, I made a horrible decision. I killed a man. I deserve my punishment. Call the cops.
The fact that she was capable of living with that vehicle in her garage.
Right.
I still want to know how she was driving and getting around.
Yeah.
I like what was happening for 4 months, because if I just lost my vehicle, that would not work out in my favor to not be able to. It's not conducive to my life to be able to get to work.
Right.
But the fact that she was able to experience that, do all of that, loop in so many of her friends, and then ruin their lives.
Right.
Then be mad at them for admitting what happened.
Yeah.
And once more, still never taking accountability. Like, what the fuck? And
she could have
saved
saved
him. The fact that she was a nurse.
She could have pulled over.
Even if she wasn't a nurse, she still could have saved him.
Yeah. And then, so even, I didn't mention this, but the police, they were like, trying to rule out everything, because I guess the prosecutor on the case, they said he was really thorough. So he wanted to check every box and every angle to make sure that there weren't any loopholes anywhere that could trip him up, because this was such a sad story. So they drove from T's house to Chante's and then past where she hit him to see if there were, because it was, 2001, but there were payphones, there were pull-offs. He said there were several places that she could have stopped for help, like bare minimum. Pull into a gas station, anything.
I mean, truly, if that happened, it's like drive to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I can think is like get to the fucking ER.
Right. Or the closest phone, something.
Yes.
Anything.
If you didn't know where the hospital was.
Yeah.
But it's her house, from her best friend's house to her house.
Yeah, she knows.
She knew how the fuck to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a minimal requirement.
Yeah.
I say that I don't know that I could get to the hospital from my house without using my GPS.
I would have to go
in a panic situation. I mean, I could, but also panic situation is a whole different. But she wasn't. It doesn't even sound like she was panicked.
No,
because she literally pulled into her garage and turned off the lights and closed her garage door. I just can't.
She talked to him and heard him groan and didn't be like, okay, maybe I should try to do something. You're at home. You have a home phone, so you literally have no excuse. Instead, you call your best friend who has nothing to do with this shit, try to talk you out of driving, and then have her come get you, tell her what happened, and then she has to go through and see the body. Granted, she should have called the cops. I'm not letting T fry off the hook, even though she has a cool name, but
agreed.
No. All of it, and they have done. There's a movie that they made about this called Stuck, I think.
The fuck?
Yeah.
What a fucked up name.
Oh, I know. It could be wrong. It was some one word thing, but I remember reading it. So just so you know, guys, that was a guess.
I'm like, that is a fucked up name.
That was a guess. I could be wrong, but it was something of that.
I mean, it
nature.
makes sense to pick it, but fucking hell.
And then
that director had a warped sense of shit.
Law and Order did an episode that was similar to it. And there's been a couple other things, but yeah. So in 2027, just a few years, she's eligible for parole in March.
I'm curious to see what kind of prison inmate she's been like.
Oh yeah. I couldn't find much on her. I tried to look up Brandon to see if he was like at a church, but like I'm sure life's probably treating him well because he's such a good human. He's been interviewed a lot by there was a lot of articles about him, like after the fact, people were like asking him about his compassion and how he actually was able to be the epitome of forgiveness because this person killed his dad by making a wrong choice.
I don't know. The journey you have to go through, I presume, as a survivor of anyone in your family being murdered, essentially, and him for absolutely no reason, just wrong place, wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
The emotional, intelligence and serenity he must have is likely what also drove him to his profession, I would believe.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, because we get that from a lot of mothers, from daughters who were killed, father, all those things
Right.
where they're like, the only way I can live is by accepting your apology. That's the only way I can live.
Mm-hmm.
It's never that they're doing it for the other person.
Yeah.
They're doing it so that they can fucking breathe
Mm-hmm.
at least a little bit in between the pain of feeling the loss of a loved one.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Yeah. That's why I didn't mention her name after I didn't have to.
No, I also say that too, and that's so scary.
Yeah.
Driving drunk or driving fucked up, like
Just be smart.
get a drive and or get a ride, and preferably not somebody else who's been drinking.
Right.
And her friend tried. I appreciate her friend on making those few attempts,
Right.
but it should have made. Oh gosh, there's shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Well, that was a fucked up story.
I know, and I'm sure Brandon's off doing big things. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's doing great things. You would have read about it if he did. You know what I mean? It's kind of a good thing in these stories whenever you can't find a ton about them, because that means they hopefully have a peaceful, happy life and rebuild.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I'm sure if he has that much compassion and can keep himself composed like that, and has to basically grow up pretty fast.
Yeah.
If he was a senior in high school and his dad was homeless with all those mental health issues and then gets murdered
Right.
in an accident. So
Well, thank you
you're welcome.
for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like, rate, review, subscribe. You know, it's always cool if you leave comments or if you heart anything or do a little double tap.
Just a little double tap. If you have do a cameo. We'd be happy to do your cameos.
Yes.
We're on Cameo. So you want us to ask somebody out for you? We'll do that. You want us to dump them? We'll also do that. Happy birthday. Brooklyn will sing.
I mean, if you're forcing that.
Maybe we got to up the
You
price.
probably don't want that. Pick her voice for singing, not mine. No, I still like to keep my voice that husky. I like 2 packs of Marlboro Reds a day. I came out the womb sounding that way.
Okay. Well, if you want a Macy Gray song, Brooklyn will sing it.
I got it. Don't forget, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, A Couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?